From the space bridge of the DJC Collectibles studio, I'm Midwest professional wrestling legend Gage Octane. And now, here's a guy who once tried to negotiate with a transformer, Kyle Peterson.
Everybody, Kyle here, back again with episode number 46 of the Kyle Peterson Show.
I'm already coming undone.
It's already coming undone.
I don't know how you wear that. Do you wear it down or no?
Oh my goodness. Well, as usual, got my co-host here, Angie, of course, a girl by law that has to introduce herself to the neighbors when she moves into a neighborhood. It is Angie. Of course, Angie. You know what I'm talking about there. But it is episode number 46. Angie, say hello to everybody.
Hello.
Hello. What's new with you? Nothing.
Nope.
Nothing. She says nothing. She just got home, just got out of the bath, actually.
Yes.
Got all clean. She said, I got to get clean for this.
I gotta look presentable.
Got to look presentable. And Angie's clean as a whistle. Let me tell you, I inspected, and you were as clean as I can imagine there.
God.
But Angie, it is episode number 46, and it is our special German episode. We threatened it last week. We're doing it this week. There's going to be a lot of German shenanigans here. And who better than someone that's like 90% German than Angie? Angie, tell us all about your German history. She has no idea, but you are German. Maybe I got a little bit of German in me. I don't know. And I put a little German into you.
Yep.
I guess so. A little German, but Angie, you got a lot of German in you. So
I do.
Did you, growing up, ever have like German meals from your grandparents or anything, or wasn't that German specific?
No,
it wasn't. You were more Dutch.
I didn't really know my grandparents because they died when I was young.
Yeah, they were dying to get out of there before you came into things. They said, no, we don't want to see her.
They were living with a lot of regrets.
Oh, they were. Were they moving down to Argentina with the other Nazis trying to escape and all that? Oh my gosh, Angie, a long storied history of Nazis in her family.
Not good.
No, maybe not. Who knows? I guess we'll never know. Nobody's talking after all these years here, but we're going to do some German stuff. We got some German metal to talk about. We got some German food to try. We're going to talk about my crazy story of being in German class in college once upon a time and a few other things along the way. So, Angie, you ready to get into all this?
So ready.
We're so ready. But first, we got some housekeeping to do here, Angie. Now, I don't want to pat myself on the back too hard, but I will. Yesterday, while Angie was out and about, I happened to save one of our rats' lives again. And this has happened numerous times over the last couple of years where we have a cage for these rats and somehow they get their neck caught in between like the bars and they will basically kill themselves. And we had a rat many years ago and I saved him like 2 different occasions. I was just very fortunate to be in the room when he tried to kill himself. One of those times was when the guy that was replacing our roof, we were getting the estimate, we're sitting at the kitchen table going over everything. And all of a sudden we hear this crazy screaming and it is the rat and he's trying to hang himself and die. So I had to run over there. It was a wild thing. The roofing guy was like, I didn't know rats made those noises. I said, well, I guess they do when they're about ready to die, when they're killing themselves. And yesterday I was very fortunate that I ran downstairs. I was filming videos as I usually do all day on the weekend. I'm filming videos. Angie, get comfortable. Dude, take a load off. I was filming videos and everything. And I was like, oh, I forgot something. I would run back upstairs and lo and behold, one of the other rats. Now it's a group of brother rats that all live together. This rat was like sounding the alarm, trying to help the other rat. It was really wild. I'm like, what's he doing? As this one rat was like caught like this in his neck, he was being choked. The other rat was kind of on top of him and he was like doing one of these on his back.
Aww.
And it was really weird. And that was the rat that was screaming, which was weird. It wasn't the one that was killing himself. And anyways, I look at the one killing himself.
What's going on? When you're choked out, you can't scream. So
that's what it was. So I looked at this rat and he's just like that. And his eyes were literally coming out of his head. They were so big.
So scary.
And I'm trying to get in there. I'm like, why won't this cage open? Well, we had to turn the cage around because the dogs kept trying to get into the cage to eat the rat poop. It's so delicious, let me tell you. So we had to, so just like the day before, we spun the rat cage around. So I'm trying to get in here. He's dying. I'm like, I can't get in here. I can't figure out where the door is on this thing. I'm like, oh yeah, we switched it. So I had to flip it around. I got in there, got my hand in and I pulled him and it had to hurt him, but I yanked him up and then he sat there, he flopped on the top and like just looked like he was dead. And then he sprung back to life and went right into his house. So I said, and I yelled for Elle and none of the kids came. They don't listen. I'm screaming and yelling for him. Get down here. Help me with this. I don't want this on my hands. But I saved that rat's life and he's been extra nice to me ever since. I walk by and he just kind of gives me a little rat salute. With those little hands they have, they get up there and they clean their face.
The cutest little hands.
It's like little raccoon hands. And he just I walked by and I swear he stood up at attention and gave me one of these. gave me one of those. So I
Aw.
felt good about saving that rat's life. But I said, if I wouldn't have had to go back up here, he would have been a goner. He would have been long gone because nobody would have been there for an hour at least. And
it's crazy. The one saving the life was the meanest one.
Was he? No, he's the second meanest.
Oh, okay.
The pure white one with the red eyes. He's got the fire of the devil. He's got the fire of the devil. He's an albino, so he's already got issues right out, like a young Johnny Winter once upon a time. But I saved that rat's life, so that was pretty interesting. That was an interesting thing. Let me tell you, just never a dull moment over here. A little follow-up from last week. We talked about Megadeth, the new Megadeth album. I was kind of mid on it. Is that what the kids say, mid?
Is it growing on you?
Yeah, I don't know. It was still not growing on me yet, but it's somewhere middle of the road. But it was the number one album. Still got the buzzer for Angie. Your cough hasn't went away. I've got this on the notes. We'll get to that here in a second. But Megadeth, number one album in the United States. How about
Wow.
that? Number one.
Shocking.
Next week, probably number 210. That's usually what happens. Everybody shows up week one, falls off the radar after that. But kudos to Dave Mustaine and the Megadeth group. We're here for that. Following up on Fulci. Of course, we've talked Fulci the last couple of weeks. I didn't get to watch one Fulci movie since we last spoke. And in full transparency, we're filming this like 2 or 3 days earlier than normal because I got a work trip. I got to leave, so I'm going to be gone. Angie's going to be just waiting for me to get back. When's he coming back? When's he coming back?
Wait at the door like the dogs.
Yep, exactly. So it's all on you. It's all on you to save these rats that they try to kill themselves. And I had the theory on the rats, too, that they're getting to the end of their life, and it's like they're trying to kill themselves. They're purposely trying to do this, because we had one rat that I saved numerous times, then finally one time, didn't save him. He died.
Oh, that was the worst morning.
He died. Angie came in to get her cup of coffee, and there was a dead rat. Dead
Just
rat.
hanging there. Cold, stiff.
Oh, cold, stiff. I know all about that one there. But Angie is still sick. What's going on with that?
I don't know.
I have not got any sickness, and it's
That's
knock on
crazy.
wood. Keep me sick free. I don't got time to be sick. I don't got time to bleed like
You don't
young
got
Jesse
the
Ventura.
you don't got the immune system to get sick.
I don't
either.
got the immune system. I'm dying of cancer here slowly every single day, and I just had a bloody mess yesterday. It was a disaster. I'm so over it all, and we'll see what the doctor says here in a couple of weeks. But I was just like bending over, picking something up, and just my face exploded, just blood everywhere. Just like I looked like my own Fulci movie I was doing at home is what it looked like. But I didn't get any Fulci in this week. I tried one night, and Angie just put her foot down and said, I ain't watching enough Fulci. And then I ended up getting really tired, and I went to bed early. Oh, what do you do, Angie? What do you do?
We're getting old.
I'm getting old. I went to bed at like 10:30. I can't believe it. It was like 2 hours after you, I think, is what that was. But Angie, the real story this week in the good housekeeping portion here is we went to dinner the other night, as we do usually every night. We eat dinner somewhere along the way, but we went to Buffalo Wild Wings because you guys know, I got Buffalo Wild Wings for a full year. Full year, free for a year. And basically what they did is they gave me hard coupons, a big stack of coupons. And it's like
a little booklet.
It's a little booklet, yeah. And here's 4. There's 4 for January, 4 for February. And you can use them all at once or, one at a time. But you could, Angie and I could use 1, and then there's 2. And you can go each week. Do it however you want to. You got 4 free ones for the month, once a week. So I was like, Angie, we got 2 of these coupons left. There's like 3 days left in the month. We are going to Buffalo Wild Wings. I am not going to give up my free wings. I'm going to get them every single week. And we've been filming the process along the way. I do have that as Patreon exclusive for you Patreon members. So if you grade to Patreon, head over there. You get early access to the videos, early access to everything. You get bonus stuff, all kinds of the podcast early. It pays to be a Patreon member. And best of all, you support Angie and all of her hobbies, her extracurricular activities. Let me tell you. But the Buffalo Wild Wings, this is expiring, so we got to go there. Well, the kids and Angie and even me every once in a while, we're kind of over Buffalo Wild Wings. We're 3 months into this free for a year, and it's grating on us a little bit. It's grating on us. And unfortunately, I enjoyed this Buffalo Wild Wings more than I thought I would. It's one of those to-go locations where you just go in, pick your stuff up, and go. I've been enjoying it okay so far, but the last couple of weeks been pretty rough. We get here, we go to film our video, and I'm not getting the boneless. We're filming the bone-in wings, the real wings. Angie says bone, or if there's no bone, she's out. She's here for the bone. So we get the bone-in wings. Well, we get home. We get all set up, the camera. We're going to film this. It was spicy garlic, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. We opened this bad boy up, and what is it? It's boneless wings. They messed up the order, and I just immediately threw it against the wall. I said, are you kidding me? Bam, right there against the white wall. Still there, hanging on the wall. It's like an art piece
Still
right
stained.
there. Still stained there. But the joke was on me at the end of the day. It would have been better if it was in the restaurant. But we ate them under protest, and I thought they were absolutely god-awful in the boneless form. God-awful. I hated them. I got every one of them down, though. I think you had one. You weren't having any more of that. You're not a big fan of spice, not a big fan of garlic. So wasn't playing a lot of hits for Angie anyways. But then this week, okay, so we got a messed up order, whatever. The kids ate, we ate. It's just like, well, it was free. I can't be too mad, but I can be. I was pretty upset about it. But anyways, we went back this week and said, kids are like, we don't want it. We don't want it. I said, well, let's just go get our 2 free things of wings. We'll fill our video. Right next door, there is a burrito place. Think of Chipotle. If you're from the Midwest here, there's a place called Pancheros. If you've heard of it, you're probably a real one. That's the way it goes. Pancheros, they got commercials here. And of course, the voice of the commercials is one Big E from WWE. He does all the commercials for him because he was a big fan of them in college, as I was as well. So anyways, long story short, and this isn't about Big E, but the kids love themselves some Pancheros. So right next door to this Buffalo Wild Wings, Pancheros restaurant. So we said, okay, let's go over there. I'll eat my wings in the back corner. The kids will get their burritos. And I think you were going to get a quesadilla or something like that. So long story short, we go over there, we sit down and we start filming. And the kids are immediately embarrassed. They're filming in this restaurant. And we're like the only people in the restaurant outside of the workers. We're in the back corner filming our thing. The kids are just like...
You keep saying long story short, but you really haven't even started.
Short story long. It's almost over, actually. The story's almost over. Unless you got more to add to it.
Tell how it was horrible.
Yes, I'm getting there. So we're filming in the back corner. You get a couple for that. And I'll even throw in one of these. There we go. Round 2. So we get in there, we're filming it and everything, and we got the spicy garlic this time, and it was good. It was good. I actually enjoyed it. It was way better with the bone than bone out. So way better. However, in a plot twist, what did they do, Angie? They messed up the order again. You remember this? What did they do?
I don't remember.
They gave us 5 wings instead of 6.
Oh, God.
Are you kidding me? I was so frustrated. I didn't even think about going there. They're literally right next door. You think I could have walked over there and said, you guys owe me 1 wing on my free coupon.
That one wing was kind of big.
It was not big enough. That was not, I don't care. Some wings are bigger than others, but it's not like.
I was joking. It looked like a little leg.
They can't do that. You can't say, oh, this one's extra big. So it's kind of like you got 2. Get out of here with that. But so that was disappointing, but the spiced garlic, much better. And then the other one, we tried the new Golden Fire, which was a breath of fresh air, a nice breath of fresh air. I really enjoyed that one. But the real part of this story here was Angie was waiting in line, and this is, they had these kids working there that obviously had no idea what they're doing. Now, you think of a Chipotle type place, they're grilling up the steak and the chicken and all this. And do you want to take the story over, or should I just keep going? I'm doing such a good job. I'm going to keep going. Angie's in line. I'm in the back just enjoying my wings and trying to get through it without a drink, which was a whole story in itself, having no drink for this. Angie had to run back to Buffalo Wild Wings to give me a drink because I was 2 seconds away from dying.
I do it all. You guys, I do it all.
I was going to need the Heimlich maneuver, and the kids like scattered. They weren't going to have anything to do with it either. But Angie's in line, and they were out of chicken. And then they were saying something like, we're not sure if the chicken's done.
They were freaking me out.
Like, these kids are like 16 years old. And they looked like trouble. They were nothing but trouble.
They were like putting their thermometer in and then like...
And one time we were at Buffalo Wild Wings and they came over and they're like, hey, is there any way we could trade you a burrito for wings? And the manager of the Buffalo Wild Wings was like, well, what is this? Is this some kind of brokerage system here between restaurants? Get out of here. You two scrams. You skedaddle. I think that's what they said. But these kids, like, they didn't care. They weren't rushing through anything. Like, they were just your stereotypical kids that could care less. I'm not, and they weren't from this country either, too. So that was a part of difficulty. I don't think they were getting all the lingo and stuff. And that's a whole other fiasco that, like.
So basically everybody was waiting on the chicken. We were first in line, and then we ended up being, I got the drinks, so then we ended up being last in line. But the line just kept piling up.
And I don't mind if you throw guys in there that like can't really speak very well English, but you better have somebody behind the counter. And I think they're like a brother duo or something, those guys. They look like identical twins. They could be twins, but like they didn't even know what was going on. Like I don't think they understood that like the chicken wasn't cooked correctly. And they were just like rolling the dice. And Angie was like, you know what? I'm just bailing. We're not going to this one. I'm not taking the risk on salmonella with his chicken and stuff. They don't even know if they're cooking it correctly. This sounds like a disaster, and you made the right choice there. That was the right choice. But then we went to the other Pancheros. It's like 2 miles away. We went to that one, and how was that?
Well, it's right by our house, too, so we didn't go out of the way. That one's always good.
That was good. Consistent. That one's like clockwork. Angie, there's that old Mexican lady that's always there.
There's like a whole Hispanic lineup, and there was like 5 employees.
Yeah, they had them all ready to go.
That's kiss.
And Angie went back there and hugged every single one of them.
Yes.
Everyone. She just gave them a little hug, but they know what they're doing. It's like... And they know their jobs over there. That old Mexican lady is the best one there. She's like, She's like probably 4'5" or something. Like she barely up on there, but man, she just gets that. She knows exactly what to do. She's the definition of a real one.
They can just look at that chicken, know it's done.
Where these other guys, I don't know where they were from.
I don't even think they knew what the chicken should be cooked to, like what the thermometer should stay, because they kept putting them in each one. Some they would put up, put back.
70 degrees good? I think so. I think, and they said if it's just seared on the outside, it's good to the inside. So it cleared that place out. Everybody else was like, I don't want any part of this. I don't want any part of this. So that was a lot of good times on the restaurant front this week here. But Angie, before we get too deep into this German stuff, we should go back to last week. We mentioned this, and you were supposed to. This was your homework last week, and you forgot and didn't do any of it. It looks like I see a lot of glitter going on here. You got some glitter going?
I know. I got this new scrub, and I didn't know it had glitter in it, and it's in the bath. I was in the bath, so I like floated in the glitter. It's
almost like the equivalent when somebody sends you like an envelope and it's full of glitter and you open it up and glitter goes all over the place. Terrible. It's just glitter all over.
I need to clean out the bathtub because I didn't even do it today. It's just still residual.
Gross. Residual. Oh my gosh. It's just a glitter bomb right here. You guys can't probably see it, but Angie, we talked about this last week. I said you got some homework because didn't you have a German foreign exchange student live with you for a while?
Yes. Her name was Kerstin Bonke.
It was what?
It was like spelled like Kristen, but you said it Kerstin or something.
Kerstin?
Like
okay. And was she like the same age as you or your sisters or which one?
No, she was older. So I was probably 13 and she was probably 17.
Now, was she hot? That's the first thing I'd want to know.
Yeah, she was pretty.
So she was
kind of like a Sarah Plain and Tall kind of a pretty though. Not like a, you know what I mean? Just
she was my age basically.
Very tall, very thin, like short brown hair.
And what cup size? No.
No, but we did take her to she came right before school started and we took her to the pool. Just no grooming.
She was straight out of Germany, that's for sure. She was looking like Helga.
Had the armpit hair, the leg hair, can I say bikini hair?
I guess. So it was kind of like...
So we had to like tell her.
What was that Fulci movie I watched? It was like that. It was like that one. What was that movie? With the guy with the saxophone, he put it right up in there. What was that movie? I already forgot.
Oh, the one with the motorcycle?
It was horrible. But anyways.
Is that the same motorcycle one?
Yeah. That was a long one, but that's a story for a couple episodes ago. But so you got her, and how long did she live with you?
Like a year, like a school year.
It's weird. Like my dad would have never entertained bringing in a foreign exchange student. What was the reasoning? Was it like something with the church?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Was there like tax money to be made by your parents? Was there something?
But it was crazy because like my childhood was so crazy. I can't believe why would we like want to bring a strange person in our
there must have been something financial in this here where your parents got some money or something, or they were just being good with the church or something like that. It had to have been.
I don't know if it's typical in all schools, but our school always had foreign exchange students. They did a lot. They must have had like a program with the school because they would bring in like a dozen of them and people in the town would like...
They'd shame them and throw things at them?
No.
We never had them in our area, but then high school, I think there was some, but I don't know if they were exchange students or if they just like moved to the country, like seeking a better life. I'm not exactly sure. There was a Russian kid named Ilya and he loved Elvis and he would dress in like an Elvis jumpsuit. But he was very overweight and didn't have good hygiene. But his name was Ilya, and I'll never forget it. Until Ilya Dragunov, I've never seen another one. But it's weird that you would have this. So, like, she was there for a year. Now, was there any talk of you or your sisters going to Germany?
No.
And, like, trade? Like, we're going to trade these kids? They were never threatened to ship you off or anything like that?
No.
That's just weird. And then, like, did she ever, like, cook for you or anything?
You know I have a terrible memory.
I know. That's the worst part.
I do remember her getting, like, mad at us a couple times and then, like, swearing at us in German. Like one time I sat up front in my sister's car and like she wanted to sit up front. And so she like got in the back seat and then she was like kicking the seat behind me and like swearing at me.
That's weird. No, well, obviously she spoke full German. Was she very good English?
Yeah, I feel like she was.
Yeah, that's weird. She was bilingual. Yeah. Was that the only thing?
Like she wasn't weird about it at all.
Like, did she get a boyfriend while she was there?
No.
She didn't? Did no boys or anything like that? Did she, whose room did she have her own room? Did she split one with somebody?
I honestly
Did you make her sleep in the attic?
No, I feel like one of us went to the attic, but I can't remember who.
Ooh.
Probably me.
Yeah, you.
I liked it up there.
You love that attic life. You did. That was a nice attic, though. It was an old house. But any other stories from this foreign exchange student? Like, did she enjoy your parents? Was she friends with them? Did she like the girls? Did you and the girls hang out? It was like all of a sudden we got a new friend we hang out with. Like your sister would have been about the same age. Did she hang out with her?
See, I don't remember. The only like weird thing I remember about her is that whenever she showered, she would shut the water off, like on and off throughout the whole shower. So they must like do that to conserve. So like she would like get her hair wet, shut it off, shampoo, turn it back on. And so we like explained to her like,
maybe
you don't have to do that here.
Maybe she was from like rural Germany or something. And then like she would have buckets and her mom would sit over the shower and dump it. And then they'd wait and then have another one or something like that.
But she gained a ton of weight.
Oh, I bet the American food will get you.
She came in about like 110, I bet. Left about 150.
Oh my gosh. She was eating good.
So she was very thin.
What were you guys feeding her? There's not like you lived out in the country basically. There's not like a lot of restaurants out there. You had like a Hardee's.
I don't know what it is.
What were you feeding her? Steroids. Who knows? And it was weird too. So you buried her in the backyard. Is that true? That's where she went. But did you ever keep in touch with her? Or was it one of those things like...
I feel like maybe my parents did for a while, but now it's like, I don't think she's on social media.
Have you ever looked? You wouldn't even know how to spell her name probably.
No, I do. I think my mom said she looked her up and couldn't find her though.
So you didn't get a number or anything? So if, what's her name?
Kestine Bonka.
If she's from there and she's watching, we want to reach out to you. What are you doing? Angie just threw you under the bus, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You talked about her shaving practices. She gained 100 pounds. She got mad at you.
She gained like 30 pounds. She
didn't shower correctly. He pretty much threw her under the bus pretty hard. Pretty hard. She's probably crying somewhere in Germany. Frankfurt, maybe. Who knows what she's up to. But if she's around, we'd love to have her as a guest on the show. Maybe she has a better memory than Angie does back then. I'd have to imagine.
Anybody would.
Did she come over by boat or by air?
Oh, my God.
Do you remember this?
By air.
And then how does it go with your parents? They're like, Angie, they like sit the girls down. They said, hey, girls, we got something to tell you. And you're like, oh, no, what is this going to be?
I have no recollection.
And then it was like, we're bringing in a girl from Germany. And you're like, what? Why? A girl from Germany? Why? And then, like, I guess we don't know why she came. A lot of mysteries with this story here. If Robert Stack was still around, we'd bring it to Unsolved Mysteries. But very strange. And I guess maybe next time I see your mom, I'm going to have to put her on the spot and say, okay, what's the story here? Why did we get this German girl? And what was your plans for her? What was going on here? And why did you give her back? And was there any chance of you switching Angie to Germany? I don't know. More at 10, I guess. We'll figure that out, Angie. But now it's time for a deeper dive. All right, Angie, it's time for a deeper dive brought to you by Decade Eyewear again this week, Angie. And if you're looking for some shades, hit the QR code in this very video, link in the description. Save $10 on your first purchase by using the QR code. Shout out to Decade Eyewear. But Angie, we're going to continue on the German train here. A little Turkish as well. It's a little bit of a melting pot here a little bit, but we're going in to a deeper dive and we're going in extra hot. Do you know where we're going?
No.
Because Angie doesn't take, she likes to just feel it.
I'm going to take my shoes off.
Oh boy, she's taking it off. She's getting comfortable here. But we're feeling the flow this week as we're going to something I've been very obsessed with here the last like 3 weeks.
Oh God.
You know exactly where this is going here. We've been riding in the car, listening to it, sitting there watching YouTube videos around the clock. And I am safe to say, and I feel like this is a free space right here, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm absolutely obsessed right now with this. And we're taking a trip to Turkey, but mostly Germany for Genghis Khan, which Angie just coughed over right there. Get it out of the system. Oh, it's getting crazy here. But Genghis Khan is what it translates to. So we're going to call him Genghis Khan. But it is a group from like 78, 79 from Germany. They were part of the Eurovision contest. And let me tell you, they swooped in and stole my heart. Like, I haven't had my heart stolen like this from a musical act in many, many years, Angie. Wow. And along the way, they stole your heart too. Did they? I don't know if they did, but they stole little Emma. She was grooving in the back seat last night. She was rocking away. But this was a band, I guess, put together for the Eurovision contest. And a lot of people in America don't know anything about Eurovision. Look it up if you want to. But they got like second place where they should have got first place. Come on, what are we doing? But they were crazy. It's like 2 girls and 3 guys? 4 guys. 3 guys? 1, 2, 3. 4 guys.
Perfect ratio.
4 guys, 2 girls. That's perfect for Angie. She loves that ratio. That's a whole airtight Angie going after it again. But Angie, 4 guys, 2 girls. Now, one guy obviously bats for the other team, of course.
Yeah, so it's basically 3 and 3.
He's not sure where he's going. And then the other guys, so it's like you got It's a wild thing. And we'll have pictures here throughout, but they're a wild looking group. But they got some amazing songs. There's no doubt the music speaks for itself. I don't care what they look like, but what they look like brings so much fun to it. That's part of the charm there. The crazy costumes. You get the bald guy looking like a young Telly Savalas. Now I'm aging myself. You don't even know who Telly Savalas is. But looking like that. And then you got, I think the guy's name's like Wolfgang. He looks just like kind of like a normal guy, old poodly hair stuff.
The one guy always looks like a spoof, like pirate.
He looks like
from a pirate movie.
You got the guy with the big mustache and then the long hair, and then you got the over the top dancing gay guy, of course. Then you got the two girls just singing like songbirds of a generation right there. Gives me a little bit of ABBA vibes from time to time there, but they've got some amazing hits, and we're going to go through some of these hits here. Of course, their big hit, Genghis Khan, and I just love the dance. Hoo, ha, hoo, ha. And unfortunately, I can't play any of the music here because they'll take you. They say you can't show the video because and they're hip to this stuff too, but I don't think they're known of at all in America. And I remember seeing something like this, but not listening, but I got into it, and my life has never been the same since.
How'd you ever find this, by the way?
Somehow on YouTube, it came in there. So I was probably listening to some ABBA. I like a little ABBA from time to time.
It's like when all these like boobs come up on your For You page and you're like, how'd these get here?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I don't have time to scroll. You sit there and you scroll the Instagrams of the world. I don't do that kind of stuff. But if I go over there, it's just nothing but that. And I'm not against it. But anyways. But I'm guessing I came across that somehow listening to some ABBA stuff. And somebody took me to task the other day saying, because I was wearing a Bob Dylan shirt, Kyle, you're metal cred. I'm like, I love metal, but I love Bob Dylan. I've seen Bob Dylan like 28 times. I love ABBA. I love the Beatles, George Harrison, Paul McCartney, Eric Clapton, Yardbirds, The Who, The Kinks. I'm all over the place. And then, of course, country music, Waylon, Willie, Johnny Cash, The Boys, Johnny Paycheck, give me all it. I'm a very diverse individual. What can I tell you? But the song and dance man here, I just want to reenact it so bad. They got the one song, The Rockin' Son of Genghis Khan. That's an all-timer. Check that one out. I'm trying to convince my dad to reenact that video for the channel. I think it would be amazing. Come on, Daddy. I love how he says, Daddy, come on, Daddy. I just want to rock, Daddy. And I just see me saying it to my dad, and my dad just looking at me with pure disgust. It would be great. So you got that. And I love that they put on a show and dancing and the different outfits here. I mean, I don't know. I'm really ruining my cred here. But tell me, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. It'll change your life forever. But the Rocket Son of Genghis Khan, that could be my favorite one. Angie's coughing away. Pistolero, they get all their Western outfits there and the pistols. Oh, it just writes itself. Imagine that. They even have a song called Mexico, a song called Ole Ole, Lorelei, the Himalayas. They love to sing about like other areas. And there's one called Rom. And I thought it was about that cartoon character, comic book, Marvel Legend figure recently. But it's like, I think, and you'd know this being having a foreign exchange student living in your house. But apparently in Germany, Rom is Rome, I believe. So they're singing about Rome. They got the dresses and all this. It's a wild thing, but check that out too. The one that's really hitting hard for me right now is Doodle Moser.
I
love that. A Doodle Moser. Oh my gosh. And that guy's in like the
which is a made-up word, by the way. We Googled it.
Yeah. It's an amazing word though. A doodle, doodle, doodle,
I can't remember what doodle means.
It's like a person that doodles around on a guitar or something.
Like not very good. They kind of mess around.
A Doodle Moser, but you got to see the video on this. You got to YouTube it. I don't think you listen to it. It doesn't give you the same effect. You got to watch the videos. God. But the Doodle Moser, he's in like the stereotypical like German outfit there with the high socks and the suspenders. Just a wild scene. So you got to check that out. The Doodle Moser is my favorite recently. Klabouterman or whatever it's called. Apparently it's the name of like a stowaway like little person on a ship is what it is. I'm here for that one. That's an amazing video. It would be hard
to stow them away.
No, it wouldn't. It's amazing. The video, they're like in some family's apartment, and the people are just like looking like, why are they dancing in here? They're just breaking out the song all of a sudden. It's wild. Hachi Halef Omar. That's another amazing one. I have no idea what that means, but I sing along to it every single time. It is so good. Hachi Halef Omar. Hachi.
That was not quite that.
Oh, I love that one. It was.
No, my God.
You get two of them for that, but that was an amazing song. And then there's one called like Der Werther. And, I used to be in German class. And believe me, we're going to get into that here in a little bit. But Der Werther is just amazing. But these songs, the highs and lows, and then you read about this, there's like a whole team behind them. It's no different than the pop stars of this day and age where they write the songs for and produce them. And they're just the monkeys that go out there and do this thing. But man, I love these monkeys. I love them. So I don't know what it is about this band, but they have stole my heart and have not let go. And I got a thing from Amazon. I don't have Spotify or something. We have Amazon Music, and my Amazon Music is a whole nother story because it's full of Taylor Swift, Gracie Abrams, and K-pop stuff all the time. But I did get a little alert here that I was in the top 1%er of Genghis Khan listeners for the month of January. And I'm just like, I guarantee nobody else in America is even listening to this. No one is. So
we have so many moments like that where we're like, there's no way that somebody else is doing what we're doing right
I always think that. Ever since I was a little kid, I always said that. I was like, I guarantee I'm the only one here eating a popsicle upside down and watching primetime wrestling at the dinner table. I guarantee I'm the only one in the world doing that. Like, I used to sit upside down with my legs here, my head down. I used to do that all the time on chairs and stuff. And I was eating a popsicle and watching wrestling. And I remember,
that's why you have all these swallowing problems now.
Yeah, you don't have any problems. She has zero swallowing problems. It's amazing. I got all problems. You know,
I'm a little phlegmy right now. It's not good.
That's not phlegm. That's leftover. But Angie, I don't know. But the Genghis Khan, call it what you want. I call it the most amazing band in the world. Unfortunately, Angie, they cannot reunite because the guy that's really light on his feet, you guessed it, he died of AIDS. I know, it's terrible. Angie thinks AIDS is hilarious, apparently. It's not.
Just the way you said it. Like, obviously, that's how he died.
Obviously, unfortunately, it was the 80s. And he was from South Africa. So, I don't know. So, that's a hard one because I don't know if he had the deep voice in the group. I don't think he did. But man, when he danced, oh, my heart sings. But anyways, he died. And then the other guy, Steve Bender, I believe was his name. He was the guy that was bald. And he was really committed to the act because he wasn't bald, but he was trying to play the part. So, he shaved his head. But he died, unfortunately, of lung cancer. He looked like the type that was a heavy smoker in the 70s, 80s, though. But he hit those dance moves just fine, And then the two girls, I think, are still alive, and they still do perform. Like, there's still a Genghis Khan band. So be careful when you're searching, because there's a band that has, like, hardly anybody. It's just not the same thing at all. So make sure you're looking at the old stuff. But the two girls are still around. And then Wolfgang, I think, maybe finally retired, but he had his own version of Genghis Khan. He was married to one of the girls. They split off. There was two bands. A story as old as time with these music groups. And then the other guy, like, now I forget the guy's name. It was crazy, like Murdersky or something. He was the long, poodly haired guy with the big mustache. Apparently, he was so traumatized and embarrassed to be in this band that, like, he never told his kids and stuff and his family and, like, hid it forever. But apparently he's still, like, a record producer or something. I don't know. But look into it. It'll change your life just like it changed mine. Who knows where the future holds here, but it's one of those things you listen to it nonstop, and then eventually you kind of flame out and you go back to your Megadeth albums, I guess, is what you do. But that's a little deeper dive into Genghis Khan. Trust me, you owe me for this one. Somebody's going to say this is terrible, but it's not. You got to sit through it. It's so bad, it's good. And that's one of the things about it, too. I don't understand any of the lyrics. They're all in German. I don't understand any of it. And then I started to read it with subtitles on, and it's nowhere near as good if you know the English versions of the word. It's so much better in the German language. And I'll just start, like, just cracking up laughing at some of the dancing, some of the songs. Like, I don't know the lyrics, but they just sound hilarious. It's one of the weirdest things. It's like, I enjoy it, but I laugh at it. It's like comedy. It's so over the top. It is worth checking out. There's no doubt about it. So do yourself a favor. Check out just Genghis Khan out on YouTube, and you'll be off to the races. You can thank me later. So there it is, Deeper Dive, brought to you by Decade Eyewear. But now, Angie, it's time to go to Germany once again. It's time for Angie's favorite. It's time to try new foods, because they might taste good.
This and a little bit of that. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. We gotta try new food, because they might taste good.
All right, Angie, it's time to try new foods because they might taste good. And Angie, we're headed to Germany once again. We said if we're going to do this all German episode, let's go to a German store. And we went to the local German store, which is, of course, World Market. World Market. You never spin. What are you doing?
German store.
The local German store. But World Market. We happened to eat at...
it's a crunch in my mouth.
Wait, we happened to... we happened to eat around the corner at Huhat. I don't know if you have that. It's a Mongolian grill, given the Genghis Khan theme. So there's always a transition here. It's full circle. But that was amazing. We've been there twice. And you know me, I always have to do everything twice, Angie. You notice that?
Yes.
Everything. Like, I have to get it out of my system. It's got to go twice, and then I move on. It's just twice. And we had to go there twice, and that's what we did. And it was amazing. You know, get stuff. I like the spicy stuff. Angie doesn't. I'm about ready to go down the rabbit hole of these two platers and that one lady that was, like, getting all that liquid. Anyways. We went there, and around the corner was the World Market. We said, hey, let's go get some German food. There's got to be some German food there. And we were very lucky. There was German food there. So we got a couple of German snacks here to try. We've never tried them. We're going to find out here today. Angie, what did you pick up? We got 2 things.
Salos?
Salos, Schwarzwick.
Schwarzwick.
Yeah, so is this licorice? What is this?
I have
It's an
no
audio.
idea.
It's an audio podcast, Angie.
It looks like it's black licorice.
Schwarzweiß.
Maybe I'm scared. It almost looks like it's covered in salt, not sugar.
Velosa. Softer Lakritz Genuss.
It's either
350 calories for 8 pieces. And there's a big sticker over it here. And I don't know what this says. This probably gives all the details behind the sticker.
no, it probably covers the label.
Oh, we're never going to find it.
It just covers the label.
Oh, yeah, it's in foreign language anyways. Also, entweder hast du Schwarzen, Humor oder echt Geschmack! Exclamation point. Den Schwarzwald Salmik während kraftigen Lakritz Geschmacks mit Herrschaft Leckrum Samosals. All right, that's what she said.
Wow.
6/26 is the expiration, Angie.
Very
We're going to
good,
dive
sir.
in. I don't know if we should have tried this first or the other one first. I'm not sure, but
Well, I feel like this is going to be gross.
oh, I should have done that.
That's going to be gross, and I'm going to need the next thing to like...
Ooh, that's powerful.
Is it black licorice?
Kind of.
I'm scared. I'm going to cough.
I got a
I'm pretty
huge.
sure it's black licorice. But is it covered in sugar?
All right, Angie, let's try this
It's
stuff.
kind of hard.
It's salty on the outside. Yeah, it's black licorice. You don't like black licorice?
The salt's making it even weirder.
It is. It's very salty black licorice. You know who'd like this?
Who?
My dad.
Give it to him.
Give it to him? You're not going to finish it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, she's going to throw up? Are you going to puke? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, she's going to
Giving me
puke.
the chicken's good.
She is. She's getting all chilled up here. I ate this just fine.
Oh, God.
Now, the story, you don't like black licorice, apparently. I'm just finding this out. I'm learning something new about Angie every day. I grew up as a kid in a black licorice household.
My mouth's like numb.
Wow. Well, we'll take advantage of that. Should we roll stop tape?
Got it weird, and I got goosebumps all over. Yeah,
I grew up in a household that always had black licorice on hand. My dad loves black licorice. So as a kid, I never thought anything different. I didn't eat black licorice. I always preferred the cherry, but it was fine for me. Did you want another one?
No.
Huh. Well, I ate a lot of black licorice as a kid. It was never that big a deal to me. So my dad was a real one eating that black licorice.
So was that salt or sugar?
Salt, I think. It was like a salty black licorice.
Do you feel like that made it taste like weird?
It definitely works with the flavor. I would never buy this again. I don't hate it. I could eat this. I could eat this rolling down the road.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it at all?
Obviously, it's making my eyes water.
You've lost your voice a little bit too. So would you say before you rate this that this is your least favorite thing we've ever tried on the channel?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, this is like the time we did the jelly beans.
Oh, it's not. I figured it would be worse than that. I don't know. It's okay. It's
I feel
kind of
like I
like,
just ate like rubber or something.
so you don't want any more.
No.
So it's like a salty black licorice. So I definitely prefer the Twizzlers black licorice, but it's, I mean, I would never buy this. It is what it is. But you know, those Germans, they love stuff like this. They love black licorice. You know, once you go black licorice, you never go back. That's what I've always been told.
I'm offending my people.
You are offending your people. You're the German one here, but I had no problems. I mean, I would never buy this again. It was okay. I'll probably end up finishing this. I wouldn't mind finding my dad. Say, Dad, you got to try this. He loves black licorice. My dad be like, man, this is good. Got a little salt on it, a little salt and savory. What is that? I don't know what black licorice is. But Angie, you didn't puke at least, but you were close.
I want to.
You don't look so well.
I don't. I want to take a drink or something.
Oh, well, we got something for you. I don't
Let's
know.
just eat this quick.
All right. Well, so here's the other one. So, well, should we rate this?
0.
0 out of 5. You sure?
Yes.
I'm going to give it a low 2 out of 5. I mean, it wasn't that great. I'd rather have normal black licorice, but it wasn't. I was nowhere near as offended. I even tried a second one. I don't like wasting money. This is like $4, so I probably will eat all this eventually. I'll tough it out. I mean, can I get a mouthful of that? Will you give me a kiss? Because I'll have that in my lips.
I don't know.
Maybe. Maybe. All right, Angie. Let's move to the other one. Round 2.
What do we got? Cocoa Haffa? Raspberry jelly cookie?
Milka? Milka's a brand. Now, this is a Mondelez thing. So Mondelez bought Kraft bought Cadbury many moons ago. Then Mondelez and Kraft split off, and apparently the Cadbury type stuff came, and Mondelez owns Milka. So, Angie, I can't imagine this tasting so bad. This has got to taste better.
Mm-mm. It's basically just a biscuit with raspberry like jelly on it and then chocolate topping.
And I think I've had something like these once before, but we'll see how this is. I hope the cookie isn't too like spongy. I guess we'll
it's
see.
Gonna be hard, I would think.
Raspberry jelly. Give me the box. What is it? 106 calories per 2 biscuits. That's not bad.
It's very small.
I don't know. Milk chocolate, half cover
they're
biscuit,
big.
raspberry flavor. Now
They're soft.
I love raspberry. I love it. It's one of my absolute favorites. A raspberry pie. There's nothing better than that.
It's
But we're gonna
be
dive.
so much better than the
Is it better? You want to put a little piece of black licorice on top?
pellets. No.
Smells like that kind of German chocolate. It's got a little German cake vibe, maybe. A little soft down there. I would have liked a little harder cookie. You liked it soft, but I like it really rock hard.
Oh, we
Diving in.
went for it.
Love the raspberry filling.
Mm-hmm.
The chocolate goes good with it.
It's weird, like when you take a bite of it, your mouth almost bounces off the biscuit. It's like, boing.
I like these too.
Mhm.
I wish,
This is way better.
I don't like the sponginess of the cookie. I wish the cookie was a little bit harder or less spongy. If it was just a little smaller amount of sponge. But that raspberry
My
filling.
ears are numb and like popping from that. I think I'm having an allergic reaction to that.
Oh, great. This should be an interesting
Like, as
episode.
I'm chewing, I'm hearing like crunching in my ears.
I feel like it's impossible to be allergic to black licorice.
Oh my god, I don't feel good from that.
Uh-oh. I tell you what, I like these.
Mhm.
I wish there was a little bit less sponge cookie, if it was just a little tighter, but I am a sucker for raspberry flavoring.
But it
Absolutely
melts
love
in
it.
your mouth. There's like zero stuck in my teeth. They're like it's gone.
I like how the chocolate is very light and it blends in with the raspberry
And
perfectly.
there's lots of raspberry.
Milka doing it right. What would you do out of 5?
I want to give it a 4 just because it was so much better
It's
than
so
the other
much
thing.
better
I'm
than
just,
the other
like,
one?
So happy.
I'd be interested if there's anybody watching from Germany. Maybe they know Krista. Is that her name? Krista from Land of the Lost?
It was like spelled like Kirstine, basically.
Well, maybe somebody from Germany knows them, but
It's like Kirstine.
if they don't know Kistine,
Kirstine.
if they don't know Kistine,
Kirstine.
if they don't know Kirsten, what's her name?
Kirstine Bimke.
If they don't know her, they probably do know the Milka and this stuff. So I'd be interested to hear your guys' thoughts.
My ears are broken. I seriously am having an allergic reaction.
And you can cut glass with those things too. Those things are on point as well. I don't know what's going
Oh
on.
my god.
Well, maybe you get a little drink after this, Angie.
Maybe it's gonna like cure my sickness. Maybe it's like releasing.
Could be. But take another one.
Oh my god.
So I'm going to give this actually a 3 out of 5. I would actually eat these on a regular basis. I feel like 2 biscuits being 106 calories isn't very much. I love the raspberry flavor, but I'm a sucker for raspberry once again.
Let me look at the ingredients.
These aren't bad. These aren't bad at all. So I'm going to go.
quite a bit of ingredients.
I'm going to go 3 out of 5. Yeah, it's full of German ingredients. It looks like there, but there's no black licorice in it. So a mixed bag, if there ever was one, on our little German taste test this week, Angie, wouldn't you say?
Uh-huh.
And would you be okay if we threw these in the garbage?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to save them? Do we do a challenge and see if the rats will eat these?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Well, what if it kills the rats? You going to feel bad?
Yeah. Yeah.
We might do this. We might test and see, because the rats will eat anything. They'll eat anything. Will they eat this?
Yeah.
News at 11. News at 11. So there it is, Angie. That's Try New Foods, because it might taste good. Brought to you by Deutsch Snacking Dough. Use the link in the description down below. Support the channel. Now, you could definitely eat some Deutsch Snacking Dough.
I need the birthday cake.
We have not ordered the birthday cake yet, so hopefully we will. But use the password down there. You save yourself 20%. Got to get a deal once again. But there's Try New Foods. But Angie, it's time to keep the German train going. To keep it going, we're going to Album of the Week. All right, Angie, it's time for Album of the Week. Before we get there, we did give the licorice to the rats, Angie. What did you think?
What did they think? They thought, no boy, no.
Yeah, they were licking it. They were giving it just little licks. They were like me.
And then they're like, just left the little chunks everywhere.
Yeah, just a couple of little licks. That's my game usually. But
But I'm sweating in my pits. I'm not fully recovered.
You're not. Angy's not right. She's already sick. Now she's got licorice sickness.
My ears are weird.
We're going to have to straighten her out later is what we're going to have to do, Angy. But it was a bad one. It was a tough one. They can't all be winners here, of course. They all can't be winners. But here we are, Angy. We're here for Album of the Week this week. And this week, we're going to talk not so much an album, but we're going to talk some of my German heavy metal band favorites here. In Germany, very, very underrated as far as heavy metal music goes. Angy, get yourself comfortable. You know this.
I can't believe you're not Genghis Khan. What's it called? That wasn't your album of the week.
I should have. It would just be greatest hits because that's all I really know. And I just read them all to you. I figured it'd be a good time to talk a little bit about some of these metal bands from Germany. And Germany, very underrated in the metal department because most people think, of course, new wave of British heavy metal, the British heavy metal scene, the Iron Maidens, Judas Priest, Black Sabbaths of the world. Absolutely love that stuff. Obviously love it. But Germany, no slouch in the metal scene either. And they got their own group of German bands. You're probably thinking of a few right here. And I know I'm going to leave some off. I hate to do it, but I'm sure I will. But Angy, we're going to start with some German bands. And we're going to test Angy's knowledge to see if she knows any of these bands. But we're going to go first to the Teutonic thrash metal, the Teutonic Four. Now, we've heard of the Big Four, Angy, which Angy, of course, knows as Anthrax, Megadeth, Slayer, and Metallica, obviously. There's the Teutonic thrash metal Four, and that is, Angy, tell me if you've heard of these bands. You ever heard of Sodom? You know a little bit about Sodom every once in a while. But Sodom is a heavy metal band. Agent Orange, probably their most famous song. A little bit grindy, a little bit on the far sides of my metal listening, but I do enjoy a little Sodom from time to time, Angy. Let me tell you. The other one, Tankard. You're familiar with Tankard? They're kind of like the Anthrax equivalent, but maybe a little bit more on the fun side. Anthrax, of course, known as kind of the fun metal band, thrash metal band. They sing almost all their songs about beer. Obviously, Tankard, beer, you get the whole thing. You lived with a German foreign exchange, so you know what it's about. But Tankard, probably my least favorite of the four. I've listened to all their albums. Nothing really stands out heavy for me. Your mileage may vary, as we say. Destruction, another big one. And Angy going to tell a little bit of story. Once upon a time, I had pneumonia, and I was on my deathbed. And the doctor said if I would have waited one more day, I would have died. Angy, my dad, you guys had to even carry me into the hospital. I was in such bad shape.
Oh my God.
But the night before we went to that hospital, I had to pull myself and everything I had inside me. And let me tell you, everything I had inside me to go to this concert by myself because Destruction was playing a club show here in a small venue. I said, I'm never going to be able to see them again. And I somehow fought my way to that show. I remembered it was a rough drive there. And I remember there was one table in the whole place. And I toughed it out. Luckily, I got that spot. And I sat there like this, kind of in and out the whole time. I was in and out. And I remember a buddy that I knew there was like, pat me. Are you all right? You all right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I look like a drunkard.
I did. I looked like I was drunk, but I was in bad shape. And it's all kind of a blur a little bit. But I was in bad shape.
I have no memory of this.
You didn't go. You said, I ain't going to that.
I mean of like you being sick and going.
Yeah, it was.
I could have been pregnant with that at the time.
No, it was before that, I think. So it was hard times for me. It was a hard time for your old buddy Kyle, let me tell you. And then the last member is Creator. I think you've heard of Creator. Of course, they're the most famous of the bunch. I love Creator, one of my favorite thrash metal bands. So check out Creator. But some other favorites from Germany, and feel free to chime in with your favorite German heavy metal band. The Scorpions, Angy, you know the Scorpions. Rudolf Klaus Mein. Francis Buchholz just died recently. Herman, the German Rarebell on drums once upon a time. Now Mickey D from Motorhead on there. I love the Scorpions. Love the Scorpions. A little of that China White, you know what I'm talking about? But Scorpions, an all-timer. I have never seen the Scorpions in concert. On my concert bucket list, going to have to go to Vegas to their residency if I ever see it. But one of the only bands I have never seen that I wanted to. So on that list, a band I've seen numerous times over the years is Accept with Mark as the lead singer currently. But Udo Dirkschneider once upon a time. Udo, an all-timer.
Dirkschneider.
He is one of the littlest guys of heavy metal. He's as tall as he is round. He's an interesting individual, and I've seen him solo. I've seen him with Accept. An all-timer, if there ever was one.
Jerk the Dirt.
If you don't ever listen to Accept, you're missing out. So Accept's on that list. Of course, Halloween. I went to the Pumpkins United concert in Chicago a few years ago. They had all three singers with them. It was just it was almost like Genghis Khan, but different. It was almost beautiful. Like that. Love Halloween. Definitely a must-have. Running Wild. If you're into some pirate heavy metal, Running Wild is the place to go. One of my absolute favorites too. Port Royal. You can't beat that kind of stuff. Love me some Running Wild. You ever heard of Running Wild? Rockin' Rolf is their lead singer. Oh, he's an awesome. But pirate heavy metal music. Most people think of Ailstorm and stuff like that. Running Wild invented it. Check out Running Wild. And last but not least, the youngest band on this one here is a band called Ed Guy. So if you don't know the Ed Guy, look into them a little bit. But Germany, no slouches in their heavy metal. They might have some terrible food, some terrible snacks, some terrible foreign exchange students. And the music, though, the music is where they come alive, of course. And if Kirsten wants to come on the show, she can. She can defend. Kesty wants to come on the... Who?
Kesteen.
I can't say it. But if she wants to come here, she's more than welcome to come. She's more than welcome to come. Angie's been looking for a sister wife. She could be the one if she cleans up her act. If she cleans up her act.
I have been.
Angie's been says, we need to be a sister wife. It looks like it's so much fun. We should get another wife in here. I said, all right. We gotta come to an agreement on who this wife is gonna be, though. But we're taking applications. If you want, send it to thekylepetersonshow@gmail.com and we'll run you through the paces. That's right. We got a big bed up there, so there's plenty of room. So there it is. That is the album of the week, talking a little bit of German metal here. But now we're getting into the meat and the potatoes. And maybe for this episode, maybe a little bit of the sausage. We're going to story time with Kyle. All right, Angie, it's time for Story Time with Kyle. And our German-themed episode continues here. And I don't know if there's any other countries we could do a themed episode from, could we?
I never realized we had so many parallels.
Many parallels to Germany. And Angie, once upon a time, I took German in college. German as a language. Did you take German as foreign language?
No.
You took French, right?
We didn't have that option.
You didn't take anything?
I took French.
Oh, she took French. Okay.
For a lot of years.
She took French for a lot of years and never speaks it, doesn't know any of it anymore. Doesn't know anything. We'd go to France. We'd go to France and we'd be lost. You'd be zero help. Say, Angie, didn't you take some French?
Bonjour.
Didn't you take some of that? I don't know. But Angie, I took German in college. Now, here's what happened to me. Poor Kyle. Story time with Kyle it is right here. I started taking Spanish in 8th grade. I took Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, 8th and 9th grade. At the time, to get in college, you had to have 2 years of foreign language. My 8th grade and 9th grade counted. They grandfathered 8th grade in or whatever. So I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm moving on. I don't have to take foreign language in college. I do wish I would have stuck with Spanish longer because I basically forgot everything. Because you go back to when you're like 13 years old and 14, 15, whatever it was. You're going to forget a lot of things. Well, I went to college, as one may, of course. I did graduate college. Thank you very much. I went there, and my senior year, they changed the law. They changed the rules. I'm not exactly sure what the heck happened. But basically, you had to have 3 years of foreign language to graduate. And I said, you got to be kidding me. And they said, you could take Spanish 3. Well, imagine going from being 14 to like 22 and not having any Spanish in between and trying to pick up a Spanish 3. That's a recipe for an F is what that is, Angie. That is exactly what that is. So I had to have a full year of German class. Well, and I go, okay, I'm not going to do Spanish. I said, what other languages can I take? And I said, and I had a counselor. Everybody's assigned to a counselor in college and stuff. Most people don't probably go to them, but I did. And I said, what is the easiest foreign language? I want to get through this. This is the only class I need to graduate my 4 years of college. I want to get in and out, and I want this as easy as possible. That's usually the motto of my life a lot of times. Mm-hmm. In and out quick and easy as possible. Mm-hmm. But the guy told me German. I should take German. So that's what I did. So I signed up for a German class. I'm like, this is gonna be brutal because I wasn't very good in Spanish either. Of course, old Taco Juan. So I was like, this is not gonna be good. And I signed up for German, and it was German 1. Now imagine, Angie, I was the only senior in the class, and this wasn't like my usual college classes that had like 300 people in them. This was like a much smaller. I think for foreign languages you have to have smaller groups. There was like 20 people in this class, let's say, something like that. And I go in the first day and I immediately realize I'm the only senior in here. These are all freshmen. And that was an interesting thing. But the most interesting thing from the start was my teacher's name. I've told you my teacher's name before. Do you remember it? Mm-mm. Her name was Miss Rectanus.
Oh my God.
That is a real name. That is a real name. And that was her name. And I remember every time it was written on the board and stuff, I would giggle to myself. I would.
How's that spelled?
Rectanus. It was wild. I don't know. I mean, what if that was my last name? Would you take that name? Mm-mm. That's a wild one. But it was wild for sure. But she was a very lively, nice teacher. She was a nice lady. She was very Sarah Plain and Tall. I don't know if she knew Krista or whatever, but she was very different. And she had a good time. But I got very lucky I got this German class. I can tell you that right off the bat. So first day she said, And this is back in the day where there was a projector. This is old-timey stuff. It was the old projector with the form on top and the light that goes against there.
This was the 90s, honey.
No, it wasn't. It was 2000s. This is like 2004. This is wild. But she said, guys, here's the rules for this class and here's what we do. And she laid it all out there. And sometimes I think my dad's told me this before. Kyle, if you would just, instead of trying to find a workaround, if you just did it, you'd be done faster. Well, this is one of those times I found the workaround to get what I wanted out of this. And she said right off the bat, guys, whoever sets up the projector every day, so you had to basically pull it off the wall, set it there, undo the cord, plug it in, you get 1 extra credit point if you set that up. Whoever sets it up every single day. I'm just like, okay, that's easy. I don't have to learn. I just have to do. That's fine. I can do that. Then she announced that if you turn in your homework, we had homework every single day. If you turned it in, as long as you turned it in, you got the 1 point. If you didn't turn it in, you got 0. It didn't matter if it was right or wrong. You got 1 point if you turned it in. You got 1 point if you attended class every day. You got 0 points if you didn't show up. So if you got there, you got 1 point. And this is I've never had a teacher that graded on such low points. Like a quiz was worth 5 points. A test was worth 10 points. And then it was 1 point to show up. And it was like, there was 80 points a semester or whatever. It wasn't very much. Usually it was like, I got 800 out of 1,000 points or whatever. It was very small stuff, which I kind of liked. It made it kind of easy. She said, if you turned your homework in every single day, you got a point. If you showed up every single day, you got a point. Whoever set up the projector every day got a point. We have 2 extra credit assignments for 5 points that you could do at any time. And both of these were in English. You had to watch something and you had to write something in English. I forget what it was. One of them was watching this movie, but it was basically you did it in English. I'm like, that's easy. I can do that. You just turn it in, you just do it. I can do that, no problems. I knew the tests and the quizzes were going to be the downfall. But I wrote all this down. Second day we come to class. I got there early. I was the first one in there. And this teacher was always a little bit late too. She was always a couple of minutes late. And this was back when they'd always say, 5-minute rule. If the teacher's not there in 5 minutes, everybody would do that all the time. But she'd always get in there by the skin of her teeth or the skin of her anus, maybe, possibly. But
anus.
Yes. So every day, so I come in there the second day and everybody's sitting down and I said, all right, guys, here's the deal. Now, this is me being a senior, a little bit more confident. These guys looked like they were fresh off the boat and they seemed like a good group and they were a good group. And I stood in front of everybody and I said, here's the deal, guys. You're all freshmen. I am a senior. I have to graduate this class. It feels like a movie. But I said, I've got to pass this class to be able to graduate. That's my dilemma here. I don't want to be here, but I have to get my diploma. So I have to take this. And they were all really cool about it. I mean, everybody in there was cool. And it became, Kyle's going to set up the projector every single day. I need these points more than all of you guys. So I set the projector up almost every day. But the cool thing was, I sat by a guy named Tim. I can't remember his last name. I would love to catch up with him because he would always help me out on things and stuff. He was a nice kid. He's like a couple years younger than me, whatever. But I would have some days where it would be set up and I'd look around the class like, what the heck? And then the teacher would say, who set up the projector? And they'd say, Kyle did, even though I didn't do it. So I thought that was really fun. And I was the Mr. Jokester class clown. I had everybody, I was joking throughout the class and stuff. And the teacher liked it, but didn't like it at the same time. She was one of those. Yeah. But I never raised my hand. I mean, I saw, here's the goal here. Here's the path of what I have to do. And do you think I ever missed one class? That's one thing. I always say in life, you don't have to be the smartest in the world, but if you show up every single day, you'll get ahead. And that's why I said, hey, I'll show up every single day. I'll get that point. And I never missed one day. Even so much so, Iced Earth is a metal band I really do like. They never played in America, and they were playing one time where I had class that day, and I couldn't make it to Minnesota to see it. And I actually skipped out on Iced Earth because I didn't want to lose that 1 point for German class. Anyways, so I got my point every single day, got the projector point every single day, turned in my homework every single day, and I would just write German words down. I never learned about the verbs. I was good in Spanish, and I was okay in German as far as this means monkey, like mono is monkey or whatever in Spanish. Like I was good at knowing, okay, here's pencil is this, and I don't remember any of this stuff anymore, but I was good at that. But when you had to put it in a sentence and you had to change the verbiage and stuff, that was over my head. I was immediately lost by all that stuff. So I would just write down whatever and I'd turn it in. I'd get 0 out of 10 or whatever. I'd get nothing right, but I got the 1 point. And then what you'd have to do in class is you'd have to correct your errors. And this is for my buddy Tim that was in the class, this kid I met there. I would just copy it off of his and then I'd just turn it back in. And then it was correct and I got my 1 point, but didn't matter. So that was great. I got that 1 point.
Why didn't you just cheat off him in the first place?
because we didn't do our homework. He wasn't that good of a friend that I would hang out after class with. You know, you go friends. We all been there. You got a friend that's in your class, but you're not going to spend or be seen with them outside of class. And that's
yeah,
where that
you want to
was.
hook up with them right now.
No,
Catch up with them right
yeah,
now.
now I do in my old age, maybe, but maybe not. But and then I said, okay, I'm going to get 1 point every day, 1 point here, 1 point here. I'm going to do those 2 extra credit points. And I remember working on those the first weekend just to get those done and over with. Because that's one thing. I never late. I wasn't last minute. I'd want to get everything done as soon as possible. So I got those extra credit things done right away. Got my 10 points between those 2. But the tests and quizzes is what my downfall was, as I failed every single quiz and I failed every single test in that class.
Oh my God.
Every single one I did fail. And that was pretty brutal. But I had no idea. It was literally a foreign language to me when I would look at these tests. I'm like, I have no idea. This is just like a bunch of different words on a page. I have no idea how to do any of this kind of stuff. And I failed them all. So I failed all the quizzes, all the tests, but I did get all those other points. Came to the semester time frame, and we had our final test. You have to take a final. And I remember I was shocked because I got like 4 right on the final out of like 30 or something. I don't remember what it was, but I knew this was going to be a down to the wire type thing because I had all these 1 points, all these oneers, but these big tests and quizzes are where I got 0 points basically. I might have got like 2 points out of like whatever on those. So it really came down to it. And I'll never forget the last day of class. Like, I don't remember why we had our final and then we had to come back for like 1 day. I don't remember what the reason was, but I'll never forget Miss Rectanus looking at me and saying, Mr. Peterson, I forget what my name, I had a German name too. I don't even remember what that was, but she gave me one of these and I had to go. And then she walked me down the hall to her office and sat me down. She goes, just take a seat in there. And, and I'm like, oh no, what is going on here? And she came in, closed the door, and she was really sweet and really nice, very like old lady librarian nice to me. And she said, Mr. Peterson, I wanted to take you in here and I wanted to congratulate you. And she said, I have never in my 25 years of teaching or whatever it had been at that point, I have never had anyone get one over on me and cheat the system so bad. But I just want you to know going forward that I am changing my lesson plan and how I grade my class so this never happens again. But Mr. Peterson, I want to congratulate you as you did pass German and you failed every test and every single quiz. And I remember just sitting in there
oh, you wrecked her anus.
I did. And then later, that's what she's doing.
She's like, actually.
But I remember just being so, like, I wanted to be like, give the Homer Simpson, woohoo, you know, because I was sweating it.
So did you get a D in the class? Or
Yeah, I got a D. I think I got a C minus, actually. A C minus, just like, which was great. I would have took a D minus. I could care less, you know. But I got like a C minus. And she said, Mr. Peterson, I will never let this happen ever again. Congratulations to you. And I remember just being like, so validated that my plan worked, that I concocted day one when she's sitting in the lesson plan. I'm just sitting here thinking, I was just thinking like, I think I can do this. I think, because I knew the quizzes and the tests would be like Hail Marys and maybe I get some points, maybe I wouldn't, but I knew I could show up every day. I knew I could set up the projector. I knew I could turn in my homework even if it's wrong. And when she explained the extra credit points, 10 points for just doing English stuff, that was easy enough to do. And I'll never forget going back in the classroom and the guy sat by Tim telling him what happened. And he just could not believe it. But I thanked everybody on the last day. I said, thanks, everybody. Going to miss everybody here, but I'm graduating and I'm out of here. And I graduated college. And the thing was, it was down to the wire. If I wouldn't have passed that class, I would have had to retake that class.
Ugh.
And that would have been horrible because that would have delayed. I would have had to go a whole nother semester of school, had to stay up there a whole nother semester. Yeah. And you know, if I had to stay up there another semester, I would have never met you. I would have never met you because I graduated and I moved, and that's a whole nother story. But I was planning on moving back to my parents. My dad's like, "You're not coming back here." He goes, "I found an apartment for you, a 1-bedroom apartment. I paid the first month. After that, you'll figure it out." And I did. I got a job. I went back to the grocery store land. I started looking for a job and stuff. It was a little scary. And then Angie luckily came along and saved me in more ways than one, like an old puppy dog. But that's a story for another day, maybe, Angie. But I'll never forget it. I remember being so proud, and I still tell that story very proud, where most people are like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. If you would have just studied a little bit, you probably wouldn't have had to do all this stuff. But it was definitely fun, and it's one of my favorite college stories I have from my college memories. Beating the system, cheating the system, whatever you want to call it. I did it, and that's where you put your head and your mind to something, and you make it work. If you want something bad enough, you can get one over on Miss Rectanus very easily. And she said she was going to change that, but I'll never forget. Congratulations, Mr. Peterson. I'll never forget how she said that. To be young again.
You should look her up. See if she's still around.
Maybe. So there it is. That's a little story time with Kyle from his class in German. And Angie, that's about it. It's time for a few final thoughts. All right, Angie, it's time for a few final thoughts as we finish up this German episode. And you'll never believe it, just in between segments here, I actually got a Instagram message from somebody from Germany. And I said, it's so crazy that you sent me this, as I'm literally talking about Germany here. Hopefully I don't offend anybody from Germany, because I'm trying. No, not really. But Angie, it's time for a few final thoughts. And as we mentioned, we're filming this a couple of days earlier than normal, so we didn't get all the Q&As because we're actually filming this before the last video even dropped. So we didn't get any questions, but we got a few things, and I got one comment I thought would be nice to read from our last one. Angie, it comes from Robert Leggins. Kyle, you and your wife bring so much joy to people across the world. How about that? All the way to Germany. Yeah, that's right. Across the world. So I wanted to throw that one in there. But I do got a stack of questions that I got from a person that didn't want to be named. And we did one of them one time. And I just kind of put these off to the side. If there's ever a lull and somebody doesn't send any questions, or we're having a film early like this. But it says, what do you notice, Angie and Kyle, what do you notice immediately when you first meet a person? Now, we're going to go ladies first here. We're going to let Angie go first. So, Angie, when you first meet a person, what do you notice first? I guess we'll go when you meet a guy and a girl.
I just always look people in the eye, so probably their eyes. It's the window to the soul.
You're closing your eyes as you were saying that. You were really feeling it, like young Stevie Wonder. You were feeling it.
Have you ever seen that? Some people like to really concentrate, have to close their eyes.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's me.
You're crazy. Like you can't do two things at once half the time. I'm surprised you can talk with your eyes open sometimes, because you sit on that couch and like, wait, I was watching TV. What did you say? It's
like, say that again?
You can't do two at once. But
I mean, unless there's something like striking about them, like, I don't know, like a beauty mark or their boobs, or I don't know. I like boobs.
Yeah, you do. Where's that sister wife? So guy and gal, both eyes. So when you saw me, you just was love at first sight. You said, there's a heaping helping a blue-eyed soul.
I mean, really anything could catch my eye, but like if I'm like talking to them, trying to like get to know them, like I would always like look them directly in the eye.
That guy's got some loving eyes.
And you can just see if people they're dead behind the eyes.
Yeah, like the Charles Manson.
Scary.
You can tell. You see guys like Charles Manson or like Johnny Paycheck. Those guys got some crazy eyes. I would even throw old Possum George Jones in the mix too. He's got some crazy eyes too. So some of those country guys.
That maybe. Gary Ridgway in that documentary we watched.
Yeah, there you go. The serial killer was a Green River Killer. Yeah. Yeah, some of those guys, you see their eyes.
They all look the same, honestly.
You're like, that guy doesn't like to have fun in German class. For sure. He can kill some people. But so eyes for you on both of them. So Angie, can you imagine, like when I see a girl for the first time, what do I immediately see?
Boobs.
Exactly. I go straight there. I'm not even going to lie. I go straight there. And then I usually look at kind of the teeth area too. Yeah. I look for some good teeth, and then the smile and the teeth together. But
that's my best asset is my teeth and my
smile. Yeah. So I always go first straight in, and I'm like, whoa, and then I look up from there. It's just I think I have
like, ooh.
I think I have a natural hunched back, so I just immediately look straight, and then I look up, and it just carries straight up, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I like what I'm seeing right here. And it's like the night you and I met. I was looking there, and actually, the first time I met you, I saw you from behind, actually, is where I saw you. And you were just cutting a rug on that dance floor. And my buddy Scott said, hey, check that chick out there. And I'm like, whoa, yeah. And then you came over to me. It was a wild thing. And
I just saw you. I think I saw you staring at me, and I was like, dude, what?
Yeah.
What was the old move? Like you catch him?
Pretty much. Never let go. It was a wild scene. That was a fun night. Fun night. We'll talk about that one of these days. But yeah, I go straight there. But if I'm meeting a guy for the first time, I'm usually staring directly at their eyes, because I don't want to say it's a force of intimidation, but you come in hot, you go in for that handshake. And I guess I usually, when I see guys outside of the club, of course, I see guys usually in a business setting. So you're coming up and you're getting the hand. You don't put the hand out too early, so you're walking for a mile like this. But you get in there and you look them directly in the eye. You don't go too hard. You don't go too soft on the handshake. And that's how the business is done at the end of the day. Let me tell you, you got to go in and You got to have
Yeah.
a good firm shake, but not too firm, not too weird
You
firm.
don't want to squeeze.
You don't want to squeeze too much, that's for sure. But
to.
but I usually look at the eyes, and the eyes are the window to the soul. And I'm very, very good at reading people in a work business environment. And I can tell, is this guy somebody I want to talk to? Do I not want to talk to? Is it somebody I know and I can tell he's not in the mood to talk?
Mm-hmm.
You got it. You can play it all through, and you play it in the eyes. So that is usually where I end up going for that too. So.
We're just eyes, guys.
So what do you do if you have a guy that you come across who's wearing 2 eye patches? Then what happens? Then what
I
do
help
you
him
do?
walk around. What
He
is?
throws you for a loop. And what if it's those like magician eye patches that you can see through? So it looks like he's blind, but he can actually see.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's the worst.
That's
That's a dirty play is what that one is there. So there it is, Angie. And if you want to be the question of the week, stick it's in the comments of the YouTube. Stick it in there, Angie. You know, just
Stick it in.
spit and go right in.
Hawk
Yeah,
that poor Hawk Tucker. What happened to her?
I don't know.
Got canceled.
Angie's going to try to find her. Is her podcast still going? Angie wants to be a guest on there so bad.
Oh my god.
I
She's
don't
back in the warehouse or wherever she's.
She's living the dream. Living the dream. But Angie, if you have a question, or if any of the viewers have a question, Angie's got no questions. She's out of questions. But if you do have one, the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com, or stick it in the YouTube comments, of course. So there it is, Angie. Another episode 46. Can't believe it. But Angie, what did we learn today?
Oh gosh, so much German.
So much German.
So
Just
much.
leave it at that. Leave it at that. German class, everything else. One of these days, we're going to do some other specific episodes probably, but one of these days, I want an Angie specific episode where Angie's going to tell a story. She's going to give us the album of the week.
Horrible.
She's going to, and I'll pick the food that week.
It'll go horrible.
It'll be all right. I feel like you could do it.
A 5-minute episode.
We could do it for episode 50. It's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming up, but I don't know.
And
We'll
it'll
see.
be 50 seconds long.
It could be. If we need a short episode, it's like 10 minutes, we could do that here. Because we've seen Angie doesn't like to take notes of any kind. She doesn't like to prep. She just likes to sit down and show up for the show.
I'm not good on the fly. Like I think of stuff to say like hours later.
Oh, she's like, can we cut back
I'll
in?
be taking a shower and be like, that's what I should have said.
Oh, yeah, that's what she does her best thinking.
My brain's slow.
In the shower or the bath, that's where Angie does her best thinking. But Angie, you get off the hook this week. Can we stop the cough next week? Can we get that out of here?
We'll see. We filmed too close together. So
Oh, please.
I never got it cured.
Well, German is the right answer, I think, is what we got going on here today. So there it is, another episode of the Kyle Peterson Show.
Can
with
you count
guest
to 10 in German? Still?
Eins, Wein. No, I can't do anything.
Wine.
I tell you, I didn't learn anything in there. It was embarrassing, but I got through it. My dad high-fived me, so I knew I was good. So there it is.
Good job.
There it is, Angie. So for episode number 46, Angie, hopefully you've been working on this. Say goodbye in your own special way.
I should have figured out how to say goodbye in German.
You should
Look it up.
I'm not looking it up.
We'll edit that in here.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?